Welcome back to our Better Angels. This is part 4 called The Divide. Last session, the group was able to open the door to the basement, a very ornate looking door, um, and it was done by a mechanical system behind slash within a statue of the angel Gabriel. There was a recess underneath the angel that opened as well that had some items of import. The group has collected those and moved to the door, and the staircase leading down into the basement is unlit, even though in game it'll show as lit. Um, but there's no light shining other than a kind of just dullish gray, kind of whitish light that's not very bright. It's not really showing a lot. And there's kind of a staticky sound coming from the basement, as well as for those who are the first to kind of proceed down, a very electronic vibe. I don't know if you've ever walked into a room with a CRT, like old style, like boom tube television, but it's kind of got a
It's got a buzz.
buzz to it. So I put everybody in the order I presumed they would be heading down. You can definitely fall back or fall forward if you please. But the stairs are wide enough for two people to comfortably move down the stairs side by side.
Any outlets on the wall?
Um, there is a
Or like
door.
a switch?
There is a door at the end of the stairs. It is open. It does look like just in the kind of um, space that you can see the light, the kind of dull gray light I mentioned. It looks like something might be hanging from the ceiling just inside that door.
Okay.
Like a light.
Yeah, she'll be looking for the light switch or pull.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out a flashlight.
It looks like Arnie, you kind of head down.
I would looking for the TV. If I think I would recognize that sound as I do.
You get downstairs. There is a light hanging from the ceiling just inside the room. If you pull the chain, it lights up the room. But from what you saw before the room was lit and what you see after, it kind of creates a more spooky ambiance. The light's coming from one place and is moving after you pull the chain. And so you have this kind of like moving shadows and kind of like it's not quite illuminating the entirety of the room like a bright, ceiling light would. It's kind of coming from an angle that kind of
like a 1950s bulb swinging from.
Yeah.
I would. Are there any corners that are extremely hard to see?
We'll explain the details of the room here in a second. I just wanted to make sure that everyone else was accounted for. So you kind of come in, hit the light, and kind of look to the right. The TV is on this box here, which we'll discuss in a second. And then someone said I hit a flashlight. I'm assuming you're going down with Arnie as well?
Yeah, I'll come with him.
If you come up alongside him and enter this space here, and sorry, sure. Riley, you can't really just bum rush through people. This isn't Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry. You step through. You
gotta get lost.
I have dark vision.
You push the door open. It bumps up against something, and the second the door is kind of pushed to its full extent, Arnie, kind of blocks your view of the television. So you kind of enter into the room to kind of get a better look at it. The two of you are able to kind of glance around the room and get an idea of what all is in this space. There's a desk that looks more like a workman's kind of like place. It has a hammer, kind of looks like a sledge, an ice pick, and then there's some sort of strange like box of tools, but the tools inside look very awkward. They just look strange. Some of the wrenches,
I wouldn't know where to begin, what they're for, kind of thing.
For what they do. I mean, I'm sure. Like, an everyman kind of type, like Detective Stan.
He's not a craftsman. He's seen tools. He doesn't know what they do before. That's fair.
I was going to say he'd probably figure out what they could do with some experimentation. The other thing he would
Maybe.
note is there is a anvil on the ground, a box with a bunch of scraps of metal, and there's a couple of pieces of metal lying on the ground near the table or the desk or bench. There's a bunch of bags of unknown contents.
I'm
There's
just getting closer to the table.
whole bunch of firewood that seems to be stacked very orderly and neat. Sorry, I forgot one step. There's two bookshelves two shelves rather, to the left and to the right of the bench. On them are pretty much just miscellaneous pieces of artifice that really never amounted to anything. There's like a twisted piece of metal, or like the only person who's going to know exactly what I mean by this shelf, because he and I have both seen it. Chody, the shop, the wall in the shop. It's the wall in the shop. There's a bunch of just stuff that was worked on that might have been finished or would have one day be
Incomplete
finished.
Come on, you know that's not true.
Incomplete
Nothing
project.
was finished
shelf.
there.
Nothing was ever finished.
Nothing was ever
We're all
finished.
familiar.
Fair. It's just
Everybody's tried to take up a new craft once.
it's a bunch of unfinished projects. There's some unpainted 40K miniatures for some reason.
Yep.
I mean,
Oh man.
These are shelves of shame. Is what they are.
Oh, this shit's still on the sprues.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
It's like fucking Dan's house. It's like it's just still in the boxes. This guy.
Freaking plastics on there. Jeez.
Wow.
He just puts the box down on the table. He's like, I'm fielding this. But okay, back to where I was.
The
Though.
pot's not even been opened. Go ahead.
There's a bunch of wood, firewood. It looks like it's been collected from trees outside, from what you can tell. There is a fireman's axe, or not fireman's axe, a fire cutting axe on the logs of wood. Near it is a bicycle that looks like it is in ordered condition, other than just like a bit of rust. So like it's been here for a while, but it wasn't like put away in a horrible condition. It was put away neat and has just kind of sat here for a while. The floorboards are covered in the far right corner by what looks like remnants, ash, and coke of burning either coal or wood. And there's a massive furnace that you presume heats the entirety of the house that is not lit and is not heating because reasons. Despite that, it is winter, as we discussed, and nowhere in the house has it ever felt cold or averse. You have not checked to see if there's a heater going or anything, but this is now something that kind of you're looking at the evidence that there is no heater going, so you're kind of confused as to how 40 degrees outside day is allowed for you to wander around this house without that much issue.
Kind of new technology do they have?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, furnace doesn't appear to be going at all. Then in the bottom right corner, some more pieces of wood, a bright red steel barrel, like drum barrel, and a jerry can, which is like a fuel can that they put on the back of Jeeps and the like. Big old box that seems to be nailed shut. On top of it, a slightly smaller box, and not pictured on the map because I couldn't find a good token for it, is a TV of a pretty decent size, kind of like hanging over the edges of the box. And on top of the bigger box, so beneath the smaller box and the TV, there is a large contraption which Arnie would be able to quickly identify as playback device. So this is like an editing machine that people would use for television broadcasts. So it's quite big, as you can understand, but it looks like it has something in it, and the TV is going with the volume kind of down, from what you can tell from the dial and the sound.
I would mess with it, try to get it to replay and turn up the volume.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me.
Are you closing the door behind us to see the TV then?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Well,
I would be
you can
focused
go-
on the TV.
You can go around the door. You don't have to close it. It'll just
Oh, okay.
be-
I assumed it was facing west,
I'll do a doodle.
so he
Hold
had to
on.
close it. All good.
No worries. So basically, door right. So door would open like that. Okay. So you're messing with that. I wanted you to roll me a appropriate skill check.
Computer use.
Yeah, whichever one you want to do. And then while that is being handled,
Nice.
Riley will go ahead and just move around the room from Arnie, counterclockwise or clockwise. So not Riley, Elizabeth. What is Emily doing? Or Erica. Wrong name.
Yeah. It's all right. I was like,
How many characters does she have?
Emily. I think we'll actually go over here and inspect the furnace.
Okay. And you can go ahead and make either a spot hidden or mechanical repair. Either one of those checks will be fine. You'll get different results depending on which one you choose.
Right. Do I even have? Yeah, I do. Okay.
Moving
I'm
on
gonna
to
go with
Arthur.
sleight of hand.
I would like to check out those tools that were on this table area that Arnie couldn't sort of figure out.
Okay. And then from that, what about Detective Dukes?
I guess sort of scanning the room. I am curious about ventilation, so I would sort of shine a light up along the ceiling.
Okay.
If there is a furnace in here and
Yeah.
a smithy.
So the ceiling to this room, which again you descended about 20 or 30 feet to get down here, is kind of a lattice of wood beams that are obviously the support structure for the floor above. In addition to that, there are a bunch of square, like sheet, basically ventilation structures. Some of them are connected to the furnace at its tops, but some of them appear to just be kind of ending here. And it would seem that there's air, at least from what you can tell, airflow coming from the north of the room.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I'm just sort of following along with my flashlight.
Okay.
Just taking in the room.
Okay. And then what did we get on that spot?
Success.
Very, very good on both of those two.
Yeah, it was I think you rolled a sleight of hand, but I think a 12 will still succeed.
Oh,
on
I
your spotting.
did.
No worries.
12's a 12.
It
12's a
would.
12.
It would be 45, so it'd
Yeah.
be a hard or a success still.
Hard success, even.
Hard success.
Super great. So Riley, what are you doing? Checking out the bags?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you kind of muster with the bags, you'll quickly identify that they're filled with charcoal. Lots and lots of charcoal.
I'm gonna take some and put them in my bag.
Okay, your hands become covered in soot. For anyone who's ever handled charcoal.
Hey, I got the witch's curse on my hands and soot now. Let's go.
Wonderful.
Charcoal is a not decontaminant, but one of the
A decursor.
you know what I mean. Decursor.
Oh, we don't want that.
Not in this game. Enough.
Yeah, spit that out.
He's like, "Don't touch me! Get it off!"
I don't want it.
Why? Why?
Runs back upstairs.
It
Starts
takes a
slamming
toxin. A detoxin.
it.
That's
Starts
at every
slamming-
door?
That's why they shove
So-
like activated charcoal down your throat whenever you have poisoning.
He runs into the kitchen. He's like, "Just tell me what I have to do, lady. What do I do to get cursed again?" She's like, "Eat this head." Oh, okay.
Oh man,
Gotta do it.
fine.
I gotta do it. She said I gotta do it.
All the garlic.
You manage to get the device to play back. It starts to play. It seems that it's left halfway through whatever video was playing, and you recognize the video that's playing immediately as the emergency broadcast that you were advised was played during December. It seems to be an exact playback. It's currently volume low, but everybody's attention kind of turns to it when it's happening. And if you let that go for a while, we'll discuss more here in a bit. It looks like there's a lot more content on the film reel that's locked into the editor. With that spot hidden, the furnace is filled with a mix of burnt wood and burnt charcoal and non-burnt wood and non-burnt charcoal. It's almost as if someone has put in fresh material on top of not quite done yet material, but then the fire wasn't relit.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shovel that is set in the kind of ash remnants and kind of content that would have probably pulled from the furnace. And it doesn't look like any efforts were made to kind of do this carefully. It looks like the shoveling out of the burnt material was just done kind of haphazardly, almost as if someone was looking for something. And with that hard success that you got for your check, you see something that is a little strange to you, but definitely easy to miss. And you reach down, and if you'd like, you can kind of like push the soot aside, and inside you find a ring.
Oh. Pick that up.
Okay.
And then call over to Arthur.
It appears to be some sort of wedding band, which we'll discuss with Arthur here in a second. So as I mentioned, the air filtration appears to be going towards the north, and also towards the left of the building as well, or left of the basement as well. If you continue to let the material play, the screen goes black, Arnie, and you think it's over with, but you look down and you can see that the film's still playing, and just at about that point, the screen kind of turns gray and brings up what appears to be like a branding kind of entry logo, kind of like the 20th Century Fox and all that stuff. But instead, it's the statue you saw in the foyer. And there's no real like logo that's written. It's just strange kind of symbols that are kind of placed underneath it as it comes up live. And then after that, I need you to make a sanity roll.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
You can't make luck roll. You can't add luck to that.
No.
You can adjust the damage with luck, though.
And you're going
Yes.
to want to, because the damage I just rolled is a total of 15 sanity damage.
Oh.
And here's why. You, in this moment, are no longer looking at a television screen. Instead, you come to realize that you are looking at yourself from inside the television screen. And you can see the room as if you were inside the TV. The glass in front of you is like a wall. And if you kind of move to adjust to that, as you assume, I assume you would do, you realize that you're still standing in that room, but you are looking at the room from inside of the box. So take the sanity damage at your pleasure. It's a shit ton, but you're probably going to want to spend some luck to knock it down. You can cut it in half, I believe.
Do you have 30 luck?
I have 75 luck.
Spend 30 to
Oh.
drop that down to 7. It's still bad, but it's much better than 15.
Yeah.
It's rounded. It's half rounded down, right?
Yeah.
Should have named him Mike.
Mike TV.
Yeah.
Like TV, yeah. And what is the sanity roll if you
So-
lose more than what percentage? And
I think it's if you take more than 5 points at a time.
Is it 5 points?
So
Something like that.
I
Yeah.
dropped my luck by 30, and then I dropped my sanity by 15.
No.
Drop your sanity by 7.
Yes.
You spent the luck to have the damage.
So, yeah, we do
Your
move
sanity lost by 7, right?
to a potential insanity. Correct. So...
Because the max you can do is have it. Right?
If an investigator loses 5 or more sanity as the consequence of a single sanity roll, they have suffered major emotional trauma. The player must roll 1d100. If the result is less than or equal to their intelligence, The investigator fully understands and comprehends what has been seen and goes temporarily insane for 1d10 hours. If they fail the roll, their mind is closed to the horror and they remain sane for now. So, go ahead and roll a d100, and it needs, or
Hope
just
you
roll
fail.
just roll an intelligence check.
Yeah, click on intelligence.
Yeah, that'll.
Mhm.
You're too smart.
Oh
Oh,
no!
God. Why are you so smart?
In
You're
the
so smart.
in the moments that you are in that TV, you outside of the TV turns and looks back to the group and says, "Hey, would you look at this?" to the closest person to him. But you didn't say that.
So
You did
inside my
not.
head, I'm screaming, "No, don't do that!"
And they're seeing on the TV screen you on the screen. So I'm assuming that since Erica is the closest, she'd look over and see Arnie looking over at
Yeah.
you, and Arnie in the TV screen, like slamming against it. Then there's a snap for you, Arnie, where the TV screen goes blank, and you're looking at a black screen. And then you're kind of looking back at Erica as Erica's approaching, and you feel like something happened, and the insanity that you're going to now have, which is a very fun one, for you specifically, is you have an irrational and very strong fear of strangers, of things that are not known, or people that are not known to you. And you always feel this latent kind of presence in you, like you are the stranger as well. So you're not always afraid of yourself, but this kind of like uncertainty in your own self creates a dynamic where you do not trust people you don't know.
Oh.
Perfect.
I
So
don't think
I
Chody
put
wants to be psychoanalyzed like that.
so I put the 73 now, so it's 73/80 for my sanity, right?
Yeah, if your max is 80, that's fine.
Right.
Okay, cool.
So you
And
took
hit
7
points
and you
wise,
have a...
I don't know why my hit points say 12/8.
It should be 8.
Should be 8 out of 8. I don't know where your hit points are supposed to be.
You got
I'll
10
just switch
HP.
it to 8.
Yeah, you get temporary.
All right, cool.
So
All right, cool. I don't like strangers.
you got the ring.
Stranger danger.
You walk over, and it's again for role playing purposes. It is a complete and absolute like fear of people that are like, yeah, it's definitely more so than you. Like the joke was good, Zach. But like what I mean by that is,
It's
I don't
true.
like I don't like strangers either, Jody.
right. It's not like a dislike. It's not like a dislike. It's like an absolute like they're
Right.
going to kill us. Oh my god, they're out to kill us. They're trying to kill us.
Yeah.
Or whatever paranoid delusion you want to throw on it. It has got to be something that's like absolutely irrational.
Got
What
it.
the heck? Okay. Anyway, what was that?
You all right there?
Something moved in my house, so I'm
Oh.
scared now. I have an irrational fear
Uh-oh.
of cats now. Okay.
That sucks.
You're gonna have a bad time.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have such a bad time.
Shut yourself in a bathroom.
So, Erica, you pull the ring out of the ash and you walk over to Arnie, who at
Yeah.
one moment looked completely like, come take a look at this. And then immediate blank look on his face after he, like, as he turns back to the screen, completely pale look on his face. And the screen goes black. For a moment, though, you did see it looked like Arnie was in the screen banging on the glass.
Yeah. Are you okay, Arnie? What was that on the TV?
Oh, I don't know. It was me and us. It was like they have a monitoring system in here somewhere. There might be a hidden camera somewhere in here. I'm not sure.
It looked like you were looking right at the camera, though.
Yeah, we'll have to look around, and I'll do some more checking, I guess. I'll start
Yeah,
looking around trying to find something.
Arthur, you're fiddling with the tools. They don't look familiar, but as you pick them up and kind of toy them about, they feel familiar. And you're kind of confused by that, but at the same time, you're kind of like, okay. It does look like the person who was here before didn't tidy up very well, and it looks like some of the tools were just kind of thrown in there haphazardly.
Mm-hmm.
You'd actually see that it looks like one fell off of the table and is on the floor underneath the table just here.
Okay. And if I pick it up?
You go over to it, you pick it up, and as you take it into your hand, the tool in question appears to have the handle of a hand mirror, and the tool itself appears to be a flattened piece of metal that looks like it might be used for cutting or for like splitting. But the handle is very familiar.
And I would call out to the others and say that, but then he would sort of mumble to him. He would actually say to who would he say it
Erica,
to?
Stan,
Erica. I got it. Got
Arnie?
Erica. This is really confusing. I thought that Gabriel Revels was the one who made the mirror and the other stuff, but this looks like a workbench to make those kind of things.
but he never lived here.
Oh, this is the
Did
Rebels
he?
house.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
looking back at my, I'm sorry, I'm looking back at my notes. Yeah, got it. Oh, so this
Oh,
does
okay.
make
I was
sense.
like,
This,
wait.
this makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Arthur
So this
says,
is
rewind.
so then this is where
Right.
these all came from then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There has to be more pieces in here,
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't there be?
The pieces that I found in the past had like some sort of mystical properties. How is that happening in this space? And then he would look and say, what did you find over there?
Oh, yes. Sorry, distracted. I found this wedding ring and she'll hold it out.
It is the Rebels wedding ring, the one that was found in the Rebels Manor when you returned to Raymond's house, and it was different. The one that goes inside of the vanity mirrors jewelry secret spot in the ark.
So,
Mm.
and I'm trying to remember back to the previous sort of campaign. Where did we leave that ring? Was that with Gate? Was that with Raymond? Did we leave that ring with Raymond? I think.
Not terribly important.
Okay. 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 So I would again say what that was about.
Mm.
Maybe it's worthwhile looking some more in that pile of coal over there. I don't
So
know.
while they're discussing that, Detective Stan, obviously something happened with Arnie. Riley's looking through the bags. You see him start stuffing coal in his pocket.
Yeah, I got my eye on Riley. I'll peek around the door at Arnie.
Presumptively,
You all right, kid?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Did you say that to Arnie?
Yeah.
I think we're being watched, maybe. And he's just kind of wide-eyed, not like you've been around him, so he kind of trusts you, but you also notice that he's kind of more.
Sure. You get to define stranger, I think.
Yeah. So he's kind of like, yeah, I think we might be watching. The TV was working. It showed a video live feed of maybe a camera in the TV itself. It seems strange.
Cameras aren't that small.
Not normally, no. That's why it's strange. I don't understand how it would work like that.
And I heard it play the message from before that we'd heard from outside.
You bet.
Yeah.
Could this be like a master tape? Is this what's been broadcasting?
It
I'm announcing that aloud.
could be, but I don't see anything to really get the signal out here in the house. I would think it would be more up on that building on the hill with the tower. I don't
The
see
radio
how they
tower?
would have gotten it out from here, though.
Huh.
Maybe they edited it here and made it and sent it up there, but I'm not sure.
Looking at the stairs that we came down, does it look like those have been seen recent use? Because it's under a
Recent,
statue.
no.
I have to assume nobody's really been down here for some time,
You've been in some,
especially since the old lady said nobody's, or she's at least not allowed to have been down here.
you presumptively have been in some pretty fucked up basements, right?
Sure.
This basement is tidier than others, but it still has kind of the grody-ness of a basement that hasn't seen a lot of attention, right? You've got your black mold building up on the walls, but not like in a crazy pattern, just like a little bit here and there. The steps look like they had kind of metal kind of linings to them, and like edges, but looks like some of them have been broken off and some of the wood has been kind of damaged. But
Mhm.
it doesn't seem like there's any way for you to track specifically,
Sure.
unless there's a skill about it. Track. Go ahead and make a track roll.
Track? Ooh.
Dang, if only I was playing freaking Raymond. I had max track on him.
Oh, nice.
Never used it
Yeah,
once,
I
but I
didn't-
did have max track.
Track would be good for a detective, but there were too many ones that seemed really good for a detective. I did not
So I'd say just
I
as
did
I
not
said,
invest.
yeah, it definitely just looks like a basement. You can't really see any signs of like
Fair enough.
recent presence. The bike looks like it might have been used maybe a month or so ago. The tools, as they're left, they don't have.
It's not coated in dust, but it doesn't look like it's been completely abandoned for years.
Right. The tools don't
Like
look
one
like
would
they
assume
have.
a statue hidden basement
Yeah.
would be.
The tools don't look like they have any dust on them at all.
Uh-huh.
But like, there's kind of the level of ash and such that's kind of everywhere. It doesn't. It looks like they tried to confine it into that space.
Yeah.
But it's definitely.
Well, if this is where they made the tape, they've certainly made copies. Because we heard that broadcast in the last few days, didn't we?
No, that was in
Yeah.
December, wasn't it?
Was that the
Oh,
only
yeah,
time
yeah.
we heard it? I thought it was like a sort of ongoing thing.
No, just the one time.
My bad.
Maybe someone recorded it here.
Well, he's playing it here.
Well, I mean, like recorded the broadcast
Mm.
whenever it played.
Maybe. Well, that beats me, kid. You're the tech pro.
I'm
Keep at it.
Yeah.
Points at Arnie.
Working on it.
Riley, you little delinquent. What are you up to?
About how much charcoal I've been able to fit in my bag?
As much as you like, man.
Okay, it's probably never going to come into use, but I just wanted to make sure I had some. I would like to take
so dirty.
We might do
the
some
fire
drawings.
axe as
Yeah.
well, or not the fire axe, but the woodcutter axe,
Yeah.
and then go check out the red barrel.
Okay. So you head over to the Red Barrel. It looks like it is a type of barrel that would be kind of sealed, like in a factory, kind of like crude oil barrel, or something to that effect. But just inspecting it, you can tell that it looks like it has been opened and closed a number of times. It doesn't look like it's like still has the kind of factory seal on it. It looks like the ends have been kind of pulled out, and the lid's just kind of seated on top instead of like fastened. In that corner, there's a distinct smell of gasoline, but you can also kind of get a strange smell of something else that's also very chemical, but you don't know what it is.
Okay. While I'm in this corner, I'll shake the jerry can to see if it has any gas in it.
It does, but it's very minuscule. I'd say like maybe a shot glass worth of gasoline kind of rattling in the bottom.
We need a shot of glass.
Yeah, and for those who are smart, that means that the can is probably filled with fumes as well. So
Yeah.
sorry for the traumatizing stuff there, Chody.
I would like to
Sorry.
open the barrel.
Elizabeth, you were here. Jody got us bloated a little bit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
set
Just a
myself
little
on
bit.
fire yesterday.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't do that. You're
again,
not supposed to
Yeah,
do that.
right.
I did not preload a can of gasoline, and the narrative therein just.
Oh, you could have made him
No,
afraid of
you
fire.
physically went to Chody's.
Oh no, I knew the
and did it.
future. When I set this up months ago, I knew that Chody was gonna.
Jody was
No,
gonna
no, no,
blow
no.
us on
I'm
fire.
saying that you went to Chody's house to make
No,
sure that
I
he.
did it to him.
Yeah, you did it to him.
I made the future
It
happen
has
the way
to
I
work.
desired
Yes.
it to be.
Nope.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it was
So
funny because Zach
You
goes,
tried.
when we first got on, Zach goes, "Wow, you got a haircut. It looks nice." I'm like, "Well, kinda."
Had to.
Well, yeah, it was more. It's all just been burnt.
He looked like that Matt Colville guy.
Oh no.
He's a cool guy. Brett, do you want to open
sorry.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
the barrel.
Okay. So when you do,
Brett, can I back away?
it definitely comes at you with a very vibrant smell, one that's actually nauseating. Go ahead and make me a Constitution, I believe.
And now we're all high off
Not
of
yet.
petroleum fumes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Constitution roll. I'm gonna need a hard success.
That's
Okay.
gonna be.
I like the
Ooh.
not
Wow.
yet.
A weaker
Brent.
person, someone not as ready for bad smells, would have thrown up, would have lost their lunch for sure. And Arnie, even at a distance away, you're kind of catching it, but not enough to kind of cause the reaction. It's definitely going to turn your nose up and cause you to kind of like, what the fuck? And inside of it appears to be a strange kind of pale green colored fluid with strange motes of like pinkish white material inside of it. The color of the material is very similar or akin to the creature that you first fought upstairs, the infiltrator.
Yeah, I'll let Stan know since he was up there fighting with me. I was like, okay, this stuff looks like that thing we fought up there.
Gross.
Do you put the lid back on, or do you leave it open?
I'll leave it off.
Okay. So the room starts to kind of permeate with the smell. Everyone, after maybe a minute or two, is going to be able to smell it.
Yeah, I'll ask him
Close-
to close it if he
Close
was
that
not.
thing up.
And do you put the lid back on?
Yeah, if I'm told to close it up, I will.
Okay. As you kind of try and seat it and get ready to settle back down, the liquid disturbs. And I need you to make a sanity roll.
Oh,
Is that a sanity roll?
Yeah.
this skull will just.
Okay.
Oh, Brent.
So
Oh, Brent.
you're going to go ahead and lose 12
He died.
sanity.
I can't
What?
spend luck, so.
You're going to go ahead and lose 12 sanity. As you have this sensation of you coming up out of some sort of water, but then you look down and you can see that your face comes up, completely severed from a head, just the face, floating at the top and slowly starting to kind of like flatten out, causing your features to distort from what they looked like when they first arose. And yeah, you lost more than 5, and that's a shit ton, so it's insanity time.
Yeah.
What's your total insanity?
We're gonna TPK
What's your total
in an
sanity?
empty basement.
It's 17 now.
Your total sanity is what?
17 now. It was 30.
Wow.
Your initial if you
Wow,
lose more than a
dude.
fifth of your current sanity points in one game day, the investigator becomes indefinitely insane.
Well, that's perfect. I did not know he had.
Yay!
He's
No
not-
investigator
he's
is
not
simply
at
able
half
to
yet.
shrug off this amount. So a fifth, 20%.
Oh,
Yeah,
20%.
that was
I thought
nearly
you said
half.
50.
That was,
That was
Hey,
nearly half. That's why I was like, no, he's still good. He's still good.
Yeah, I can't spend luck because of the witch's curse. I
Last
don't have my
thing we should-
notes, but I do remember I can't spend luck on anything.
correct.
Usually lasting until the investigator reaches a place of safety in which they can rest and recover their wits.
Let's see. Permanent insanity.
Indefinite insanity.
Indefinite insanity.
Well, first things first. He does still get the intelligence nonsense.
The phobia.
Yeah, for the 5 or more. So
Roll your intelligence, Brett.
this is for madness first. So go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
He outdid
I
it.
failed.
He failed.
Okay, so you do not
That's good.
realize what's happening. So you do not get madness,
Oh, weird.
but
Dang it.
you will become temporarily. No, you are permanently insane. Double checking here.
No, it's when sanity reaches 0.
Oh, that's when permanent.
He's indefinitely.
That's permanent. It's indefinite. So
Oh.
so it's weird because indefinite is actually not
Still-
permanent.
But it's still temporary. So that means
Right.
that
TBD.
because of the intelligence, he is not smart enough to realize what's happening. He doesn't even recognize it as his face. It's just weird human parts. So
Ignorance is bliss.
That's a handsome slime.
he is very dumb, and just thinks that there are people inside of this, and he'll probably like back away, confused, and like weirded out, and also shake into his core. But
Did he close it?
Yeah, he finishes closing it.
Okay, cool. It was getting stinky in here.
For you, detective, again, like I said, the air ventilation seems to come into this room from somewhere to the north.
From somewhere north.
Yeah, like goes through the walls.
And from what we've seen, this is the only room in this basement.
Yeah,
And typically a basement
the house
matches
is
a good percentage of the ground floor.
the house is definitely big enough to have more floor, but you do not see any measure or means to move anywhere else into this house. This house
Start
is basement.
tapping on the walls.
I was gonna say if I could shove these bags of coal out of the way.
Okay. So
And
yeah,
just sort of have a good look at this north wall.
you start looking
South
at the north wall, and it is very solid. It looks like it was a series of timbers, like thick kind of wood planks that were kind of locked into place in the foundation. And in between, you can see that there's pretty large gaps. On the opposite side, it doesn't so much look like there's a foundation on the kind of other side of this wooden facade / structural support. It just looks like rock.
Okay.
So like the foundation was naturally carved.
Well, it seems like a dead end.
Um,
You two boys look like you could use some fresh air.
I believe that the two professorly types were talking about looking at the other pieces that were made. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay.
Or
So
for-
Go ahead.
Oh, for them.
Okay. Yeah, they're all over on the shelves. So who's taking the north
Like over
one?
here.
Yeah, the north and south. Who's taking the north one? Who's taking the south one?
I'll take this one.
So
Ugh.
you two split up, and you start looking around. Go ahead, give me a spot hidden check there, Erica, and that's a door. That's not the shelf. The
Hard
shelf.
success. Oh, I'm so good at these.
So you're looking at a lot of these pieces, and nothing crazy. Like it's just a bunch of weird metalwork. It looks like they attempted to make a flower at some point, or there's another piece that looks like it's like a wing of a bird or an angel or something. But as you're looking, one thing really kind of stands out. There appears to be a handle, not unlike the handle of the mirror that we saw, but it seems to be slotted in the shelf space after moving a couple pieces that are near it. It almost looks like it's a lever.
Interesting. Pull.
Pull the lever.
Pull the lever.
Wrong
Wrong lever. R.I.P. Erica.
The shelves all drop, and all of the stuff and clutter that's in them dispenses downwards into a pocket in the floor. When they do, so too does the back of the shelf. A large metal sheet descends downwards, and it opens to reveal what looks like a kind of natural work cavern inside of the door frame with kind of flagstone flooring.
Not bad.
To everyone else, Kutapong! That's what you hear.
I was about to fiddle with the bike. Maybe it had a bell.
The bike does have a bell.
I was getting bored.
It does. It does have a bell.
I'll get interrupted before I
Right.
have the satisfaction of
I-
bringing.
I actually hate myself right now because I should have prepped. I should have prepped a sound effect for that, and I didn't, and I feel bad. But everyone else, you would see as Erica pulls a lever, the wall on the north side opens up. Stepping through, you would see a space that is lit by what appears to be torchlight. There's a very massive, beautiful wooden table with high-backed kind of silk cushioned chairs. Very gorgeous in the center of the room. On the walls of this space, there are books, bookshelves stacked, just books and books and books, loads of books. The torches are a strange sight. It does look like they are like old school, like medieval castle kind of sconces. It doesn't really show it on there, but yeah, there are sconces that are kind of like metal and ornate, kind of set in the wall, and yeah, burning brightly, so it would seem. It does look like there might be something to the left of the entrance as you come in, something around this way. Yeah.
How old does this this cave work look?
Do you go in with her?
Yeah, I'm right behind
Oh
her.
yeah, she would also have
Oh.
Arthur, you're gonna want to look at this.
Yeah.
As a historian, the two of you, I think there's a history check, right? Am I crazy?
History is
There
a
is.
thing.
Roll it.
Should we
Where is it?
success?
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
How do I fail that?
You could spend luck.
Yeah, you could.
I'm gonna spend 2 luck.
Okay.
Just
So the
I'm
two of you would basically
mad.
kind of start talking amidst yourselves. It very much looks like
Oh.
this was kind of a lower structure for a fortification that would have been utilized during the Revolutionary War.
How do I lower my luck?
The tops of
Oh, I
it,
have to go in a minute.
obviously a house was built on top,
Mhm.
but you can see from this point where the structure would have continued upwards into the fortification proper. This basin, this lower portion, would have been storage, and it seems that it's still being used for just that, even to this day. And your assumption is that there was a gun fort on top of this. The hill that it's on, they probably cleared the trees out so they had a kill zone back in that time. It could see any enemy advancers, whether it was an American fort or a redcoat fort. Can't be sure. You just understand that the structure in question looks like it was a defensible location for that conflict.
Okay. 4, 6, 8 seats at the table.
The table doesn't look like it is something that would have been down here in the original timeline.
Is it redwood or just regular wood?
It is redwood. Yeah, it is gorgeous, immaculately polished. There's like a gold trim, like gold leaf trim finish, like kind of in the center there. Very ornate, very beautiful looking table.
Any carvings or monograms or anything? Okay.
No,
How about on the chairs?
you kind of look at the chairs, and they are also very ornate, well carved, beautifully done. There's no maker's marks or anything, but you definitely could see a hand of craft that you're familiar with, especially underneath the table as well with the claw feet. It definitely looks like this is a Rebel's work.
Revel's work. Erica, we should check out these books maybe?
1 second. She
And I would-
becomes
Oh,
distracted.
yeah.
She walks around the corner. She would see a staircase
Oh yeah, she's
leading
gone.
upwards, and sunlight kind of just peeking through, You can see that there's a pair of cellar doors kind of up
Hmm.
above at the top of the steps. You look into this room and you see what looks like a torture device. One from medieval history, one that you would know is called the rack. You'd also see, beyond that, metal bars, a very strange looking huddle of cloths, and a man laying inside of it. From the motions, you can see that this individual is breathing, possibly sleeping.
No. Um, she'll turn back. There seems to be someone there, a prisoner
Arthur,
down
If there's
here.
someone there and there's a prisoner, that means they did something wrong. We need to leave them. I think it's a bad idea. We need to go the other way. This does not seem safe.
Well, it doesn't look like anyone's been down here in ages.
But it means that someone could come down here. How is he still alive if they haven't been down here in ages? If he's sleeping, someone's been down here. This is a bad idea.
I mean, going off the fact of the old lady, maybe he's a cannibal vampire too, and he's just stuck down here, you know?
I was waiting
Living
for the
forever.
cannibal vampire.
Well, why don't you watch out where you are just to make sure that our exit is safe and we can go check it out.
Maybe
I-
you two should
I-
sit down. Maybe
do
you
that.
had a little too much basement air.
or
Me?
barrel
I'm worried about both of the young guys.
Oh, them. Yeah.
Arthur would pull out his gun and start moving forward.
Okay.
If the man's in a cage, don't shoot him.
Can never be too
I'm
careful.
following these two.
You should be leading, officer.
Very
when you,
well.
When you yell back to him, two things happen. You yell back, "You should be leading, officer." You see that the bundle of cloth and the presumed person breathing underneath stirs. Arthur, you look dead in the eyes of a person whose eyes and face and features are very familiar to you. I need
They
you to
look
make
like
a
me.
sanity roll.
They look like a young me. No,
This one
what's
is-
happening?
I never had a son.
Not as bad as the
I never had a
others.
son.
Good thing he has a gun in his head.
Oh no! Sanity roll.
Let's see if the
I believe
the curse
Failure.
the curse of him rolling really well on sanity rolls is apparently off, folks. So you're only going to be taking 6 with this because you've seen
I'm-
yourself before.
You have
Can
12.
I?
You've technically killed yourself before. in
6.
this timeline. You can
I only have
That's
9
pretty
luck.
insane.
you can't shave it.
I can't shave
You
it.
have to pay double to shave.
I can't do it. Yeah.
Okay, which means you're going to roll an intelligence check.
Oh no!
Oh,
Don't
Nandy's
be
gonna
so
be super smart.
Don't be so smart. Shit. Oh no! I understand it.
So
Oh wait, that's bad. Sorry.
So
make-
smart. It is bad.
today.
Yeah.
to make it even more poignant, the understanding.
Can I
it's
roll
just,
a d10 for the bout of madness? Oh, I want to do bout of madness.
Just seeing, yeah, you can. Just seeing yourself is no big deal. That's not the problem. You are looking at yourself the way you remember yourself. The day at the college. The day when the mirror arrived. The day when you saw yourself step out of the mirror and you had to fight yourself. It's not you now. It's not a possible you at this age. It is you from the 20s, from 1927. Curls around and looks over at you with his eyes, and you don't know what to make of this. So yeah, roll a d10. I normally roll them behind the scenes, but we'll go ahead and let you roll them out in the open. That's fine.
We 7 institutionalized. The investigator comes to their senses in a psychiatric ward or police cell. I'm not sure how that would work.
Well, let's see. Hold on. You rolled. Wait, what chart did you roll on?
Wait, you rolled on the
I
wrong
rolled on
table.
table 7 on page 159, the bout of madness chart.
Bout of Madness chart I'm looking at doesn't have that. Bout of Madness chart I says 7 would be flee and panic. The investigator
Okay,
is
well let's just
compelled
use
to
that
get
one then.
as far away as possible by whatever method available, even
Sure,
if it
let's do
means
that.
taking the only vehicle and leaving everyone else behind. They will flee for 1d10 rounds.
Uh,
My
uh,
God. You mean
so I
you
flee.
don't
Do you want
want
to roll a
be
d10 for the rounds too?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a d10. I've got a number that will determine how long it. Okay.
Five
So with
rounds.
that number, what I will tell you is this is the scene for you, Arthur, in your perspective. Everyone else, your scene will be happening
Well, you
sideline.
take control of me
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
and I'm explaining like during the time that we're going to be talking downstairs because everybody else is staying cool. What happens with you? Freak out, run straight out the door, straight out the front door, or out the window that you came through. Go ahead.
I would be following, saying, "I told you we should have left him tied up. I told you," and I would
Perfect.
follow him.
Arthur obviously has a beat ahead of you, but you would make it to the car and get into the driver's seat and realize you don't have the keys, and it's at that moment that the 5 rounds for me is cleared. You're basically getting into the car and like sitting in the driver's seat, and like just behind you will be Arnie. So back inside.
Saying, "Go, go, go!"
That is happening, but I said that there were 2 things that were happening, not one. The second thing that's happening, and Erica and Stan, you would see it first.
You want to pull real Andy off the map for a sec?
Yeah. The cellar door up the stairs starts to jangle, and then the door starts to open. So during that time, as he's rushing off, what would you who remain? That would be Riley, Stan, and Erica. What do you 3 wish to do in this moment?
Riley's sitting at one of the chairs at the table.
I kind of coached him towards the chair.
Yeah. He's like, you might want to take a seat, bud. So I sat
I was
down and I'm
worried.
just looking at the fire on the table.
I do want to mention that chair, luxurious. Like I've sat
It
in
looks
some
up-
pretty luxurious chairs. These chairs are top notch.
Right as he sees Arthur run out, Riley's gonna be like, "Can we take a few of these chairs too?"
Yelling is definitely going to cause a situation. Are you rushing after them, or you're staying where you?
No, I'm staying where I'm at. I'm just
Can
making
we take
sure
a
I
couple
can.
of these chairs with us too? Is what is yelled. Okay, so
Yeah.
Stan and
Can
Erica.
I move over here?
I'm gonna,
Yeah.
if I may, sort
Yeah.
of like
just like hiding
grab
behind the
Erica
wall.
and move us both over here,
Okay.
Oh,
around the corner from the stairs.
As she kind of dips past you, you kind of like put your arm out, a gun in the other hand, and kind of move around that way. Okay.
Just shut the fuck up. At Riley.
You hear kind of like a pause for a second, which to you, Stan, means that whoever's up there, probably heard that exchange. Then the doors open. You then hear a footprint or a footstep onto the stone steps. But the footstep that you hear, it doesn't sound like it's booted. It sounds like it's naked. But it also sounds like it's wet. There's kind of
Always
like
good.
if you've ever like you've been at a pool.
Always a good modifier.
You've been at a pool, right? You've ran around on
Yeah.
the concrete outside of a pool. It sounds like that, but not fast. Just
It's like a splashy slapping sound coming down the stairs.
you bet. It is a splashy,
Magnificent.
slappy sound.
I hate
Okay.
that.
It comes down
We
the
all do.
steps, and you hear kind of a droning. You then see the shadow of a figure pass by this intersection. Arnie is gone. Arthur is gone. Riley, are you still sitting in the chair, and are you just not hiding, or are you looking in that direction?
I'm just sitting there looking that way.
Okay. Great. I really hate to do this to you guys.
It's,
You were just not eliciting the right amount of I should be afraid that everyone else is seeing. You see a figure standing in that space and moving towards the cell, but it stops and looks in your direction. The figure in question is illuminated by a strange gray light. It appears to be draped in cloths, like just a bunch of rags and robes. that have been just put upon it. In one hand, it appears to be holding a sensor. So, do you know what a sensor is?
Yeah.
Okay. And the sensor seems to be kind of slowly and like just a little bit smoking.
I'm gonna pull out a piece of charcoal. You need this?
It looks at you with its bright red eyes, and you can then see, full-faced, that the thing inside of the mask, or inside of the hood, inside of the cloth, its face is just this horrific mass of teeth, of nostrils, 2 pairs of bright glowing red eyes, ears, and the like just kind of pushed in that hood. Just a mass of face parts that aren't put in the correct pattern. Sanity roll to start before it engages you for your stupidity.
I fail.
Okay. Yeah, this one's not as big as the last one, seeing yourself.
Brent, you're
Walk
way
up.
too giddy about this.
It's going to be 4 sanity loss on that. And I know
So
you're
you
good.
should check the rules, John, because I think that if he loses even one more point after the other thing,
Oh,
it's
he's-
not good.
That's fine. Yeah, that's I'm okay with that.
He's running too.
Sanity. Again, he just hung out. Sanity.
Look, we've already established Riley isn't the brightest cookie in the crumbs, okay?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna say that in this index you have 5 points are lost at any one time. Ask the investigator to make an intelligence roll. That's not happening here. However, this will result. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So this is going to be about a madness regardless. And then we have optionals. Bout of madness. I take your sheet and add suitable backstory entry or change an existing one based on the nature of the investigator's bout of madness. I can add a phobia or mania to your backstory, and then I apply delusions, which you may attempt to see through with a successful reality check. Delusions can only affect the character within the 1d10 hour period of temporary insanity. Your temporary insanity here is going to result in you rolling a d10.
Yeah.
Mania. The investigator gains a new mania, such as abutomania or
Here's
pseudomania.
roll a d100.
There is a mania chart.
And he's got a table.
Got a table.
I'm
And he's
actually
real
going to
stoked
check and
about
see
this
if there's
too.
one I want to pick for this, actually,
Okay.
before we roll.
He's got Hulkamania.
You go ahead and roll.
Mania.
It's terminal.
You go ahead and roll. I'll go ahead and take a gander and see if there's one I prefer.
He has a
63
phobia of
he
all
got.
curses now, so Brent just game's just thrown
Oh, you
upside
just
down.
cured Brent.
He has catadeptomania, obsession with jumping from high places.
Oh, Brent, you should
That's
have
so. That's so Brando. Or
Obviously,
maybe
I
he
want
comes-
something more on theme or brand with the monster.
Pyromania.
Fair.
But no,
Pyromania.
hold on. No. Obviously, I, for narrative purposes, would want that. But if you literally just rolled throwing himself from heights, there is no way I can, in good conscience, not make that the one. So, Brent,
Yes.
Riley has this vision of how to get away from this creature. The only way is to get to the highest point you can and jump from there. You have to fly away from this. You can't get away by any other means.
Heck yeah.
It appears that it wishes to engage with you. Do you wish to retreat and go find a high place to jump from right now?
That's the only way I feel like I can escape it, then yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d10 so we know how long your mania will last. And then Elizabeth...
10 rounds?
before 10 hours.
Yeah, 10
Oh,
hours.
no.
Elizabeth, did you hide where your token currently is, or did you go with Stan?
I would have wanted to go this way.
Okay.
Because there's an easy exit right there without having to pass through over
I
the
didn't
doorway.
fully drag her with me. I just
No
pulled her
worries.
back and she darted in a different direction.
Choices
Yeah.
have consequences, and here we are with them. So, Riley, you
Oh,
rush
no.
past her. The creature, its long, strange fingers slap around the stone as it comes around and looks after Riley as Riley rushes past you, yelling, "I've got to jump! I've got to jump!"
I've got
You
10.
What a
see
good
it
sport.
face first. Now, before we get to that, I need the two of you, that would be Stan and Erica, to make
Mhm.
stealth checks. You were hiding, correct?
Yeah.
Right, so
And
let's
it's
see what this
You know, it's
Let's
crazy.
go.
I'm good at stealth, but I didn't
Success.
try to hide.
it's totally fine. A
Hard
success
success.
True.
A success is totally good. It's not looking for anybody, so it's not engaged in a process. Failure is the only way you would have not
Yeah.
been caught out.
She's probably like crouched down, like flat against the wall with her pen in her hand.
Yeah, also the light is kind of not really present in that space, so I mean you'd be
Yeah.
hard to see for sure. It creeps around, looks down the barrel of the space after Riley, who is straight booking it. Okay? And you look it dead in the face. It does not see you, but your sanity roll might determine how we play this. So I explained it to Brent.
Do I see it come around the
You
corner?
see the back of it. It's just rags to you. You haven't looked at it in
Okay.
the face. The face is the thing.
I
that
don't
causes-
intend to.
Well,
May I take an action after this resolves?
absolutely. So Elizabeth,
Okay.
sanity roll. Go ahead.
Oh, Liz. Come on, Liz.
Failure.
No.
It's okay. So it's going to be.
Is it yes or a no?
It's a failure. It's going to be a total of 5. I rolled a 5 on the d6. So you can spend luck. You aren't cursed. If you spend
I have 10
10,
luck.
it will reduce it to 2.
I will spend 10.
Okay.
Nice.
And then your action in response, Zach.
I'm stepping behind the thing and shooting it point blank in the back of the head,
Okay.
which is a combat roll.
I'll give you a bonus die. You don't need it, but you can roll it. just to see
Extreme
if
success.
it would have done better.
Wow.
Bonus?
Yeah, you click the bonus. So 9 is better than a 29, so we're good.
Sure.
Okay, you step up behind it, you put the gun to the back of its head, and you pull the trigger. And ignore the water sounds. Let's see. That's 12 damage was the damage, right?
19 total.
19
12 was
total.
the extreme damage.
Cool. Okay, that's sufficient. So you put your gun to the back of the thing's head, you pull the trigger, it blows a hole through the rags. You hear the bullet. Oh, sorry, this is important. Roll a D100.
D100, okay.
Because that was such a clean shot.
45.
Okay. So it ricochets off of the stone, but it goes to the right. So it hits one of the books and kind of lodges itself in the books or bookshelf.
Okay.
But it goes cleanly.
Am I meant to glean something today? Okay.
Well, yeah, there was a chance of you shooting either Erica or Riley with the bullet because it bounced off stone.
That would have been awfully funny to shoot Riley in the back.
Right in the back of the leg so he couldn't run up to the place he's going to jump off of.
Oh, it would have saved him.
It could have saved him. Well, that's what I was hoping for.
Saved him.
Yeah. But when its head explodes, which it does violently, instead of
Outstanding.
blood shooting out like you expect it to, just a mass of like parts fly out. Fingertips, fucking ears, noses, eyeballs, just all kind of wetly onto the ground. No blood, just very damp flesh parts slamming all over the ground. And it falls to the ground and is dead.
Yum yum.
I cock the gun and keep it pointed at it.
Okay? A minute passes.
You okay?
It doesn't move.
Maybe? She'll stand back up and move out of the way, or move back forward again. Did Riley's like gone?
Riley's
but-
just booking it away to.
okay.
Did he
He's
say
not
anything when
there.
he was running?
I gotta jump to get away.
Where would Arthur be at this point? Would he like be heading back into the house? Would he possibly see Riley?
Moseying back from the car.
I'll let you know when times match.
Okay. Want to stop him from killing himself?
Should we go after Riley? Or should we talk to that man that's in the cage?
Frankly, I don't know. Kid seems pretty rattled. Kid might stay a little rattled. Maybe check on the guy in the cage, because I think this thing was coming for it.
I'll do that.
I'm going to post up at the bottom of the steps.
Okay. If you
Can
look
I get a marker for where the thing died?
Sure.
Just an X, a spot anywhere.
I got
Oh,
you.
blood
Because I want to
splat.
kind of keep an eye on that as well.
It would have died here.
Perfect. I'm going to stand here, keep watch.
And I will say that you would have noticed that it was carrying, in the one hand I mentioned, but in the other hand it looked like it had almost like a lunchbox. A small container.
I'll sort of nudge those away from the main body with my foot and just sort of post up.
For sure. Once you get to the cage and see that the individual has now kind of risen up out of the bedding, kind of looks at you and says, "You're not the keeper." And it's Arthur's voice, but a younger Arthur's voice. And the person you're looking at looks like a hotter, younger Arthur.
Uh-oh.
Well, not like super young.
Uh-oh, are we about to trade up?
Like 30 years younger Arthur.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Happens
Arthur's
to
never gonna be
everybody.
able to
Don't be
retire.
afraid.
Meanwhile, Brent, you get to the either outside to climb the outside of it or upstairs to the top floor to the balcony in the master bedroom. Which one did you prefer?
I think the balcony would be his first thought. It'd be the
Okay.
easiest one to get to jump away.
We love that for you. So, the car, seated, right behind you is Arnie, kind of moving over towards the car. It's outside, it's quiet, not a lot of noise pollution. You would hear the breach of doors opening someplace behind you, Arnie, and you kind of look over that way, and through the trees, through the mist, because remember, you're in a bunch of mist, the house wasn't, but you can see in the lighted area of the backyard, on the balcony, Riley stepping out and climbing up onto the balcony rail. And then again, Andy, Arthur has gained his sanity and is like, I don't have the keys. I have to go back and
Does
get the
Riley
keys.
look into the pool?
We're gonna get there.
Artie, you gotta catch him. He's one of your only friends.
So if I gain my sanity, I would start heading back into the house.
You pop open the door and get out, and you see Arnie looking back behind you. And then as you kind of try to make out what he's making out, Brent, tell me what your character does.
Oh, he for sure. He gets up, and his thought process is he has to jump. And the lady said the pool was possibly a portal, so that's automatic extra distance right there.
He's trying
I'm
to
getting
jump.
away. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well-
a little run jump.
As you can see, there's no fucking way that's happening because of the
Oh yeah, I
distance.
forgot we're all on the same map. I want to see
Oh
the.
man.
I don't recall seeing this.
There's not a chance.
Oh, I
he
don't.
thinks
I'm not
you
even.
were
I don't
gone.
even have it lit up.
Yeah, you were gone on this one.
But
this is
Can I put my
happening.
token
Oh.
over there?
Yeah, hold on.
Gosh.
I want to watch.
I can
Do a
put-
flip.
I got you. Hold on.
Thank you.
Sure. So, you
Oh, that's
obviously
far.
cannot make that jump. And you're very focused on the jump. You kind of give the pool a quick glance, get up there, and you jump. How do you jump? Are you trying to dive like you're diving into a pool?
I would think so, since I'm trying to make it into the water because my
Yeah.
brain doesn't recognize I can make
He's
it
a
there.
cannonball kid.
I love that.
Cannonball.
Okay, great. We'll deal with that here in a second. Arnie and Arthur, you watch as Riley jumps off of the second store balcony,
What are you doing?
swan diving, and he does not make it to the fountain.
Oh
at
God!
all. That does not happen.
So I would rush that way.
Sure, absolutely.
Jeez.
Okay, and you're just breaching through the trees
Yeah, however I can get to him.
straight to. So you're gonna jump over a fence and head to him. Both of you go ahead and make a spot hidden check before you rush away.
Okay. Success.
Arthur, when you were sitting in the car, it didn't really matter to you because your panic. You weren't really thinking about it, but you saw some people coming up the road. Looked like 2 or 3 guys heading up the hill. They're not here yet. They were a ways down, so it didn't really clock into you. But it's something that you know and are aware of. But obviously, there's more pertinent matters at hand. Fair enough.
I'd be rushing that way, sort of muttering, "This is all going to hell."
Yeah, you haven't even seen you in the basement. Speaking of you in the basement, how are we dealing with that? Muted.
Sorry. No, I'm not the keeper. Is that what that thing was?
Did you shoot it?
I didn't.
Hey,
It
Huh.
was shot.
You see him reach into his coat pocket and pull out a pistol. The pistol is identical to Arthur's pistol. I didn't even know that was an option.
You didn't think to shoot it?
Wasn't really a lot of thinking going on, Miss.
Erica Wynn.
Miss Wynn.
Are you related to an Arthur Haynes?
My name is Arthur Haynes.
Couldn't be.
Could be.
You-
Because
I
it
mean,
is.
I suppose, but you just look so much like a younger version of my colleague.
Yeah. I get that a lot.
I should probably find a key to let you out, maybe? Or
There isn't one. He says as he drops the pistol into the cloth and materials.
what are you in for, mister?
It's hard to explain, really.
I got time on my hands.
What are you doing here, mister?
well, we're investigating.
So was I. There was an old cellar door on the back end of a friend of mine's house. Well, an acquaintance, really. I'd only just met him the other day. And I came down and I was accosted, and the keeper has been feeding me ever since, but I don't know how long I've been here. No light to see, no sun.
This thing's been feeding you?
Well, yes.
Do you know what it's been feeding you?
I
There might be a little cannibalism going on upstairs.
I am trying to make sure you understand my candor here is me trying to keep up pleasantries. I don't want to seem too crude, but I didn't really investigate the contents too deeply. It was that or die.
What fair? Would the Arthur Andy, would the Arthur Haynes that I know have investigated that, or would he have also just like not cared?
Investigated what? I'm sorry.
The like what
Food.
kind of food he was being provided by that thing that was there.
Well, to
After a
be,
fashion. He's never
I
been
mean-
starving.
Right. Right. I mean, his first reaction would be revulsion. But
Then after a time,
who knows what would
probably...
happen after a time? Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough then. Well, how do we get you out? I
I
I
have
suppose we should find our Arthur Haynes.
your Arthur Haynes. Ah, I see.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that there's other Erica Wynns in the world. I've just never met one. I've met plenty of other Ericas, but
Why would you assume that's the case?
I mean, I don't
An
know.
uncommon name, mister.
Yeah.
How
Well,
long have you been down here?
I guess I meant pejoratively. She meant Arthur Haynes, not like a person who has a similar name, based on your reaction to seeing me. You mean intruders, do you not?
You know, that is another time that we have heard the word intruders.
Well,
Um,
of course, it's a term I coined. If you're traveling with an imposter of me, they'd probably try to keep up illusions.
It's trying to keep what?
Keep up
illusions.
illusions.
Thank you.
But I've always known the Arthur Haynes that I've known, so
And yet I've never
what
heard of an Erica Wynn.
well what year or what month or year were you put down here? Like it's
I think the last
19
day he kind of
1950, like say the date that it is
1953
today.
January,
January 1953.
and he
Yeah.
looks at you kind of like blankly for a moment and says, "I'm sorry, what?" And then kind of
January 1953.
unbuttons the top button of his collar, which is, even though he has been resting down here, has been maintained. Like his clothes are a bit disheveled, but like it's still like prim.
He wears them appropriately.
Yeah, and he says, "Well, that would be damn near 20 years, wouldn't it?"
20 years? You couldn't have been down here for
I don't
20
think I've been
years.
down here for 20 years, Miss Wynn. It hasn't felt like that, but I guess time flies when you're having fun.
Well, you would have been put in here when you were quite young if it was 20 years.
Oh, I'm not quite young, but I do thank you for the compliment. Very charming of you. Something I think Andy would say. um,
Forgive me for assuming, mister. If you aren't from this time, wouldn't that make you the intruder?
I don't know what you mean by this
Ooh.
time.
1953.
So
You seem to think that you've passed 30 years here?
I came down into the cellar door underneath the wreckage of the rebels' household in the summer of 1927.
I'm sorry
The
to inform you,
wreckage.
we
I
are
was-
under a manor in January 1953. That, as I'm aware, still stands strong right this moment.
I have a question. You came in from the cellar door?
Oh, we came from the manor.
Oh,
In the basement, there were some. There was a hand or a not quite finished hand mirror down there.
pause for a second. When he says you came from the cellar door, Stan, you kind of look up the cellar door, which was left open.
Yeah.
It is an overcast sky. You can see shocks of lightning kind of gracing the clouds above. There's no rumble or anything of thunder. Seems to be off in the distance, but it does not look like a misty or even slightly overcast day like you know it to be outside.
I'm not going to let my curiosity get the better of me.
Because you've seen how well it's
But
worked
I
out
will
for
be-
everyone else.
Huh, look at that. Stan's not stupid.
He's like, nope. Fuck
Like,
no.
yeah, that's weird. Fuck
Well,
that.
that's weird. All right. So
I'll run
anyway,
right out there.
yeah.
Well,
If you're not taking the bait, then we'll go ahead and move back upstairs to.
God no. I'm not getting locked in 1933.
Come on, Zach,
Smack.
join us.
You
I'm not
hit.
getting trapped in 1930. Fuck this.
You hit. You're gonna take 4 points of actual damage, right?
Oh.
As you hit.
Oh,
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's like half his health points.
I need you to make another intelligence check. This time with a bonus die.
You got this, buddy.
Got the
nailed
knock.
it.
The sense
Oh,
knocked
Don't
into
even
him.
know the bonus die. When you jump and do so head first, you hit, but you hit with your hands because you realize in that flash of a moment there's an instinctual like need for survival.
Yeah.
You feel your hit take and like bam, smash, probably knocking out a couple teeth. There's definitely some kind of like spraining to the arms. It definitely feels like you're gonna feel this for a while. And
Yeah.
as you lay there on the stone, the cold stone, and you can hear the footfalls of Arthur and Arnie kind of rushing through after jumping over the fence, you have this understanding. You do not need or want to jump off of this building. You do not think that's going to work. But if you come across anything else that's high and jump offable, you may have within that 10-hour span or however many hour span.
Like the radio tower.
You may want to do that. But from here and from right now, with the trees as has been explained and all of that, there's no other high points that you can see. The trees are not climbable. They are old growth, so it's a little bit harder to kind of get up to.
Gotcha.
Make sense?
Yep.
You approach. There's blood kind of from his like nose or like from his jaw, kind of like.
Arthur is like panting from running up. He's like, "My God, man, why the hell would you do that?"
Riley, right whenever he looks at Arthur, he'll spit out some blood and possibly like a tooth, and he'll be like, "Well, I didn't get away this time, but if I come across anywhere else, I know I'm gonna get away." There was also a thing down in the basement that was carrying a sensor and very creepy looking.
Would Arthur be able to track what he's saying as being not rational?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's talking cuckoo bananas.
I know. But I'm just because might have to take extreme measures, and I just wanted to make sure.
Jesus Christ.
He was cuckoo for Cocoa
Turn around,
Puffs
tickle the rabbits.
before Cocoa Puffs
I
were
just want
invented.
I want to recycle back to that question though for a second. I just want to like I want to metrically understand the question and the proposed possible answers that could have come about. So you said, "Can I tell if jumping off of the building, saying they saw something weird, and being basically
No,
psychotic?"
not the jumping off the building part,
Oh,
but what he said to me
okay.
just now is
That's fair. I mean to say, what did you expect me to answer other than yes? Of course, that sounds
okay.
insane.
That's fine. I just want to make sure because I'm going to try to do a thing.
No worries.
will-
What are we trying to do?
Well, we have to get back to Stan first.
Okay. So do you help Riley up and go back into the house through the back
Yeah,
door?
let's lead him back into the house.
So since you're going in through the back door, you would hear that the kitchen is filled with activity. Sounds like there's a lot of chopping going on. Sounds like someone is in the process of cooking and is kind of in a more vigorous part of that aspect of the...
Is it the murder lady?
if you want to call her that, sure.
I do want to call her the murder lady. Yes.
Well, then that's what
We're
we're
calling her
calling her
Granny.
now.
Can I just sort of Granny?
She's that the
Murder Granny.
Murder Granny?
the keeper of the house, or
He's the head chef.
The head chef is currently
The head
engaging
chef.
in activities.
bad.
If you take a
Andy.
gander and peek inside, you would see that she's currently in the process of chopping what appears to be meat, and you can see that the skull is sitting in the wastebasket, and it looks like she has de-skinned the entirety of the skull and removed all things inside of the skull and has made that into what appears to be a pile of cooked meats, It definitely has a very good smell to it because of the garlic. It seems like that definitely worked. It definitely kind of like filled out through the cooking process. But yeah,
Nobody's arguing that she doesn't know what she's doing. It's just that she's doing something wrong.
she knows what she's doing, but holy shit!
It's a bad thing.
She's ahead of her time.
Ah,
All right.
I
All right, guys.
Okay, you laugh at mine, but you didn't laugh at Andy's.
well,
know, right?
some
I killed
people's are better.
She's the head chef.
Come on.
The head chef, John.
It's pretty good.
Head chef was the better joke.
It's not
It was-
perfect. I like ahead of her
I
time.
thought it was perfect, Andy.
Whatever.
Thank you, Liz. I appreciate you for appreciating me.
You know what? John doesn't own a game called Thunderdome,
That's fine.
and that's his issue. I
Um,
can't grab it.
so
He's
guys-
beyond that.
I'm beyond that actually. So now that was
Get it?
good.
Beyond Thunderdome?
No, yeah,
We
I
got it.
get
Oh,
100%.
guys.
So you guys, you as a group, the jumpers and the runners head back downstairs. Now Arnie, you were free, and now they're talking about going back in. Do you want to make any arguments for not going back in, or are you going to stay with the group and stay safe?
I would say I have been saying we need to get out of this place the entire time. There's something wrong with this place. I don't believe in this stuff, and stuffs are coming about. This is crazy. We should get out of here. The
Well,
car's right there.
we
I
can-
can hotwire. When I say right there and I point back to the car, do I see the people?
No, not yet.
Okay, cool. Let's go back to the car and get out of here. I'll hotwire it or something. We'll push down the hill. Something.
I
Let's
gotta
get
at
outta
least
here.
get one of the chairs.
Why don't if you want to wait for us by the car, that's fine. But I got to gather the others up. You could help me with that.
I'm not going off by myself. There's strangers out there. No.
Well, then you come with me.
We're staying
You'll
with
be
the
s-
group.
Right, and we're gonna gather everybody up as soon as we can and get out of here.
Love it. Let's go.
I got good news for Chody once he gets down here, because this guy's not a stranger.
You know
That is
him.
another Arthur Haynes loophole. Everything's perfect.
We just gotta double people. That's all we gotta do. So back inside. So Stan, you see what you saw, and the conversation with Erica continues. If you had another follow-up question or another beat you want to follow up on.
I think Erica's just wanting to figure out how to get him out of this cage. I mean, he seems.
He gestures to the door and the lock, and he says, "I don't have the key, and I know they don't either. The keeper, the person who locked me down here. I never saw them, but I have been trying to get out, and I have yet to see a key, and my skills with the tools I have are insufficient."
How did you say you ended up in here? You just woke up inside the cage?
Me
You told me about the cellar door.
and two good friends of mine came down here. We were looking for something. Something we thought might be important to our research. And I remember being split away from them for a moment. And then the next thing I know, something hit me very suddenly in the back of the head. When I woke up, the horror that was the keeper was offering me a box filled with food. It smelled pretty good, and I was quite famished, not knowing how long I was out. The dull pain was still there, though, and I asked many questions of it, but it answered none. When I
Your
first
two
saw
friends.
Seems very talkative.
Oh, you're not done. I'm sorry.
when I first saw it, I wished I could have run out of this place entirely, but that was
Okay.
barred from me.
That spares one question, because I was curious if he sees the keeper differently than we do.
Oh, no.
Your friends.
Crazy.
Who are they?
Well, friends that were with me, the grandson of one Gabriel Rebels, a Raymond Rebels, and a fellow connoisseur of the esoteric, friend I just met in town, named Otmar.
These names sound familiar. She, Arthur probably would have mentioned them to Erica at some point, right?
Mhm.
Gabriel, at least, I would assume. Or,
Well,
sorry, not Gabriel, but
Raymond.
Raymond.
I'm
When did you see them
familiar.
last?
Yeah.
Before I blacked out.
And you haven't seen them since.
I have not.
Well,
Now-
let's start looking for a key. So that
Who, out of character, who has the skeleton key you guys collected?
Pretty sure I do.
Nobody
I
wants
was
to fess up?
lockpicking everything.
I think Brent does.
Yeah, because I was lockpicking everything with my little
Yeah.
auto lockpick, and I was like, "Ooh, I can get into more things and take more
Yeah.
stuff."
You give the node thief. I'm gone for 30 minutes. The node thief gets the skeleton key. Sorry, Erica was going to ask something else. I apologize.
I've already forgotten it.
I apologize.
It's fine.
That would be a good time for the other 3 guys to show up.
Yeah.
They show up.
Give him a sort of watch your step. Don't go
Why did you
upstairs.
let him jump?
He darted.
We
Look
had-
at the guy. He's
You might as
light.
well.
He's fast.
You might as well
Who says that?
jump.
The guy.
You might as well jump. Oh, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Jonathan, get out
I'm
of
trying to
here.
be cool like Andy.
He's
and
doing a Van
Alyssa.
Halen.
Oh,
Trying to do a pun.
Meryl, jump,
A little
jump.
before the time.
Don't sing it. I'm not cleared for that.
You can't afford Van
It's
Halen.
only 5 seconds or less.
Fair. But even still.
and like, never mind, I'm not make that joke. Let's keep going.
So you would see that on the ground there is a splatter of body parts, dismembered bits, not like body parts like limbs. I mean like the small things, right? Like if it's, and yeah, that too. But if it's
A
small enough,
pile of extremities.
if it's small enough to fit in a hand, it's all over the floor. And there's no consistency either. It's like somebody fucking uppercutted a dude in Mortal Kombat 2 and they exploded into bits, right? Like it just, there's like a whole bunch of fingers, all
There's
the
like
same.
8 rib cages.
For some reason, for sure, yeah.
If you want to put them back on the map,
They're on there.
I'll just sort of explain the situation of our friend Arthur Haynes is in the cage around the corner. Watch your step around that thing.
I look at Arthur and go, "You're in a cage?
I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Is that metaphorically? Like,
And I would pull.
He's been talking about intruders.
He sounds like you.
He knows Raymond rebels in Amond.
Otmar.
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 Oh yeah, Erica,
Wow.
don't be rude. Introduce him. Professor Haynes.
Professor
Well, wait a
Haynes. This is Professor Haynes.
Doctor.
Doctor. Yeah.
Our friend here is quite injured. I think we need to keep close watch of him.
Riley, chair.
Wait, Riley, do you have that key?
Does anybody?
Yeah.
He's all beat
Can
up.
I-
While I'm answering this, can I be
Beat up and
picking up that
crazy.
lunchbox?
And Erica, if you're walking over towards him, you kind of look to the left just because it's distracting. Like the sunlight coming from the cellar door. It's very muted, overcast. Like there's still a bit of sunlight, but like not a whole bunch. It's not bright, sunshiny, and you can see that like there's flashes of light that seem to be off in the distance.
Right.
I'm
That's
going to remind her, we didn't see a door outside that led underground.
Oh, right, but where does this one lead to?
So the other Arthur is with us now.
Well, no,
He's
he's
in
still
a
in the
cage.
cage.
In the cage,
I'm
okay.
trying to get the key from Riley for the cage, potentially for the cage.
Can I go back and talk? If I go back and talk to him, or whatever, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you'd walk past the cellar.
I'd
and
want to
look
go.
up and
I want to
see.
go talk to him. Yeah, even
But
though he
you
made
would
me
see
flip
that
out.
outside is different too. So you walk over, and he kind of looks at you. Huh.
Who are you?
Is that what I look like?
If you live long enough.
I've lived long enough. If violence is in your heart,
No.
that's your pleasure.
No. We seem to be living in dangerous times. I think you understand that.
Oh, I certainly do, especially since I've gamed 2 decades and stand before me outside of a cage I'm locked in.
I don't understand that at all.
I
They
don't
said you
either.
knew. They said you knew Otmar.
Did or do. Again, if we really have passed 2 decades, then I'm certain that he's probably.
Then I'm sure you remember what happened to him.
No, I don't. I, and Raymond entered into the cellar of the wreckage of the rebels' house, and we came to find that we weren't alone. I was assailed, knocked unconscious, and I woke up in here. I was then being fed by a horrific abomination I wish I could have run from, but over time I gained a self-sustaining desire to go along with what was happening, and so I ate. They fed me.
I also traveled with it for a time with Raymond and Otmar, and that is not what I recall happening at all.
I trusted them. I really liked Raymond. Very good lad. He just seemed very wholesome, and everybody seemed to like him in the town of Vigo. But Otmar was a bit suspicious. I didn't see who struck me. I don't think it was him, unless he was in league with the devil, I suppose. Was that what happened
Didn't
with you?
the name Bico raise a flag?
Does it?
Well, I mean,
Mrs. Nelson.
yeah.
But we do
So
know we did find the books upstairs that said Bico.
would Arthur would not remember Bico? Is that correct?
Yeah, Vigo's not
Okay.
a name, you know.
It's always Nelson.
Right. It's always Nelson. But Arthur would remember the scene at Arkham where Otmar and Raymond
We're
were
evil.
were evil.
Yeah,
yeah.
they were intruders.
So then Arthur would explain that to faux Arthur.
That was
Alt
at
Arthur?
that was at Miskatonic
Yeah.
at your office.
That's right. That's how
Can
I
we call
remember
this one B, Arthur?
it. B. Oh, I love that. That's a
We've
winner.
got the A Arthur and a B Arthur, and it's nice.
The puns are
great.
strong with this group. Let's go.
It's great.
God damn, that was really good.
Yeah.
That was very good.
Right.
I'm very happy with that. He says, and you explain how the scene went in
Yep.
your understanding. He's like, that's not the way it went at all.
hmm
That
How could this be?
charlatan Fitzgerald was of a mind.
Charlatan?
Yes. He, once he had us all in the room, he did some sort of deliberate speech at the mirror, and a copy of me came out of it. And then him and his man tried to kill us all.
Oh. The Fitzgerald I knew was an honorable, if slightly.
If it wasn't for
Uh,
Bianca, we wouldn't have made it out of there alive at all.
If it weren't for Bianca. Yeah, Bianca that I knew was strong and brave.
Well, yeah, she came up behind his man before he got the street sweeper ready
Street
to go,
sweeper.
shotgun,
Oh,
and stabbed him in the neck. Then I went to blows with myself, I guess, and Raymond and Otmar fought with Fitzgerald, who was able to melt uh,
I
flesh.
have a theory.
He
Better took
burned.
him 5 turns.
He burned Bianca's body, and then we were fortunate to pin him down and, well, kill him.
It seemed like Bianca did not, and some of the others felt they did not belong in Nelson. I guess it was Nelson.
How long
Is-
ago did this all happen, B. Arthur?
Again, my sense of time seems to be distorted.
Sure. How long before
before
you came down here?
I don't know. It couldn't
So
have been
you
as
think it
long
was
as you
20
say.
years? It was 30 years by my reckoning.
Well, I don't think it's 20 years. I'm just really bad at math. 27 to 53 sounds like 20 to me.
Like 50
26.
Oh,
or 26, yeah.
We're both right, but
I'm also
wrong.
really bad at math.
oh my!
Welcome to the club.
We all make
Yeah.
Oh, we have a
mistakes.
Zach here.
What's
I make mistakes.
Yeah, oh yeah,
No
I
such
know
thing. No
that's
such
true.
thing, Zach.
At
Apparently
Gen Con,
less than us, though.
there was one at Gen Con that I was like, what the fuck, Zach, you failed me. I don't even remember what it was, because
Counting isn't math. Moving on.
Clearly, it wasn't important enough to remember.
Yeah.
he says, I don't think it was that long. And based on the way you look and the way I feel, I don't think we match.
No, we don't. So
Real quick,
Out of character. This guy's from an alternate timeline where,
that's what I think.
nobody said anything about
or
it.
whatever it is. Alternate Arthur, where instead of Otmar and Raymond being the bad guys, it was Fitzgerald and his man.
Hold on a second. Couple things. Riley, did you
Yeah.
pop into the lunchbox and check out the contents?
Yeah, dude.
Cool. Inside is a very beautiful looking Danish. It looks like it's perfectly golden, covered with a light and perfect level of glaze. It looks succulent, and it smells just so.
Oh, I'm eating it.
Okay. So that's what you're doing before you go up the stairs because you see Erica heading that way. Erica, you start making your way up the stairs real quick. Anybody who is positioned wherever.
Can I do a thing?
Well, hold on. We're
Yep.
currently in the beat of our conversation. Other people are engaging, so I just
Okay,
want to be
crap.
sure that they get to do stuff. So-
I'm just wanting to poke my head out of the door. I
Sure,
know that that's
That's how
probably
it
gonna
always starts.
fuck shit up, but
Arnie, you're staying back and kind of just like.
I'm frightened. I want to get out, but
Yeah.
also I'm still iffy about this guy. I don't know if I can trust him or not because he
Yeah.
looks like him, but I don't know him.
So you're
kind
kind
of
of
thing.
closer to that and actually keeping close to like the group. in
Yeah,
there.
I'm
Okay.
trying to get out.
Yeah. Okay. And so, Erica, you step up the steps, looking up at the sky. And as you look at the sky more and more, you start to realize that there's something off about it. But you can't tell for certain as to what that is. Once you breach and are able to see the world around you, firstly, there is no house. Instead,
cool.
the wreckage of a house is present. The house in question looks like it fell and broke here. The remnants look ancient. Looks like it's been like this for a long time.
Hmm.
The trees that were around this house are not present. And you're not on a hill. It seems like you're on a flat course of field. The mist is still present. So too are the dark clouds in the sky above and the flashes of lightning some space off in the distance. And I need you to make a sanity roll.
Cool.
Crazy town.
Mm-hmm.
Extreme
Oh,
success.
yeah!
Let's go.
You see, in the flashes of light, massive creatures moving through the mists. They appear to be humanoid in shape, but with legs and arms like an arachnid's. Massive and discombobulated in like joints, like more than just the normal joints that we have. They seem to be walking kind of like an ape, right? Like with the hands in front and the legs kind of being the primary movers. And with one flash of light, you can see that one of their faces turns to look in your direction. The face looks distorted, but it looks like a humanoid face. One that, with an extreme success, you're able to recognize specific and strangely familiar features. That weird walking thing.
From the 16?
What?
From the thing that I saw when I was 16?
Oh, no.
Oh,
The thing
okay.
that was inside inside that you just
No.
the rag creature.
This face that you're looking at now, the one off in the mists that is staring straight back at you, looks like I'm trying to pause for time because we're about on a cutoff. It
Oh.
looks like a
Does anybody want to
massive...
guess what it is?
Yeah. Let's do guesses for a
Arthur
little bit. It does look like Arthur Haynes. God damn it!
Who shot
Let's
Damn
Mr.
it,
guess.
Bird?
Too close.
It looks like a monstrous and horrific version of Arthur Haynes, and that's where we'll end the session for
Oh my
tonight. Thanks for
God.
watching, those that did, and we'll see you next week from that point on.
Oh man, this is gonna be rough. I
Oh,
planned on
shit.
going out
Be
there
both the
too.
hero and the villain.
And again,
You were
it does.
trying to pull that out for 6 minutes.
That was not going to be it.
And it was.
Shit.
And it's
Sometimes my pacing is not quite
It's
on point.
someone you
People
know.
will try. We're not cutting out yet, but I do want to ask a question
They
of
have
you,
a birthday
Erica.
coming up.
Seeing that, what would be your immediate response?
closing the cellar door.
Perfect. The doors slam with a finality, and that's where the episode will end. All right, we'll pick up next week. Thank you for watching. See you later.
Bye.